AI, it is a wonderful thing, but it's also very terrifying. Today, I thought we would talk about AI and the workforce. Definitely going to be job losses, definitely going to be new jobs found. Super
Absolutely.
definitely, there's going to be a lot of disruption and frustration, concerns and fears. But I'm hoping that we will also see hope.
A wave of new opportunities and innovation. With every major technological shift, there's a period of adjustment, but also a chance for people to redefine their roles and skills. It's all about how we adapt and evolve.
If you were going to say, if we were going to look at this in the worst case scenario, what do you think that would look like in the terms of playing into people's fears?
In a worst-case scenario, we might see rapid job displacement without enough time for workers to retrain. That could lead to increased unemployment, social inequality, and a sense of disenfranchisement. People might feel that AI is making their skills obsolete, and that could fuel resistance and fear. Without proper support systems or policies in place, this could create a lot of societal tension and distrust in technology.
Now, I think that a lot of people are already feeling that stuff right now, just with the news about how AI is coming.
For sure. The uncertainty can really amplify people's anxieties, especially when they hear about job cuts and automation. It's important to have these conversations so people can better understand the changes and see where they can find their place in the evolving landscape.
Now, I know that the news loves to put out negative press because it brings a lot more. And some of that is about what is happening with AI right now. Like, apparently IBM laid off a number of workers. Can you tell me about what was going on there?
Sure thing. IBM recently laid off about 8,000 employees, mainly in their human resources department, as part of their strategy to integrate AI into their operations. Despite these layoffs, IBM mentioned that their overall employment has actually increased because they've been hiring more in areas like software development, marketing, and sales.
So the people who were the HR people, they lost their jobs, but that money then went to hiring people in other departments, is basically what you're saying.
Exactly. The idea is that while some roles are reduced due to automation, the company reallocates resources to expand in other growing areas. So it's a shift rather than a straightforward cutback.
Sure, but this doesn't feel good for everybody who's in HR. I mean, that's a career that some people get into because it's something that they feel is important. To find that now it's being replaced by a digital agent, that can be terrifying. So what are your steps if you spent 15 years HR department using all those tasks and skills to work an efficient system to be informed that that's not going to happen anymore? Where do you go from that point? How do you deal with that emotional load?
That's a really valid concern. For those in HR or any field facing automation, the emotional impact is huge. The first step is to acknowledge that it's okay to feel unsettled or frustrated. Then it's about identifying transferable skills. HR professionals often have strong interpersonal, organizational, and strategic skills that can be valuable in roles like people analytics, organizational development, or even HR tech implementation. Upskilling through courses or certifications in these emerging areas can help bridge the gap. And of course, leaning on professional networks and career coaching can provide guidance and new opportunities.
Okay, but HR departments are not the only place where AI is taking over, so to speak. I don't want to say taking over. It sounds like like some form of digital conquest, and I don't think that's the case. But drivers is also another big one. The fleet of autonomous vehicles that is slowly being developed and put into the system is a big concern for long-haul truck drivers, taxi drivers, all, delivery service drivers. And that's a lot of people. Like, I think it's how many, like in the millions, maybe? Do you have any info on that?
You're right, it's a significant number. In the US, there are around 3.5 million truck drivers and over 1.3 million delivery drivers. So any shift towards autonomous vehicles could impact millions of people, which is why there's so much concern and discussion around it.
Now, I am not a driver, but the skill of driving vehicles is not as I don't think is as easily transferable as, say, the skill of using a computer to do spreadsheets and paperwork. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's an important skill, clearly, because it's one of the most populous and some of the best paying jobs you can get if you are a blue collar worker. And that's the concern, that a lot of people who are drivers for life. They're not comfortable using computers. Some of them maybe are. Maybe some are great at it. I don't want to generalize that all drivers are bad with computers, but I want to understand that people who do their living driving are doing it because that's what they want to do, not because they have to. Ugh, that's terrible. I sound like a horrible person. But my concern is that if they no longer have their work, what do they do? Like, how does the skill of driving vehicles transfer for them to other career paths if that's no longer the case? How does AI help the people who are losing that work become more productive and happier with themselves?
I get what you're saying. For many drivers, it's not just a job, but a way of life. The transition can feel daunting, but some of the skills they have, like logistics management, route planning, and time management, can be valuable in other roles. AI can also help in creating new job opportunities within the transportation industry, like managing autonomous fleets, maintaining these vehicles, or working in customer support and logistics tech. The key is supporting these workers through retraining programs and policies that help them transition into roles where their experience and knowledge remain relevant. It's about finding ways to integrate their expertise with new technological advancements so they can continue to thrive.
So retraining seems like one of these linchpin factors, that we need to retrain people, upskill them, give them new opportunities by instilling them the knowledge and the wisdom to do so. But we don't train for free. This is a money system that we live in. It's a capitalist society. So the opportunities for retraining, clearly, that's a whole market that is going to give people the opportunity to, make money and help the economy. But a lot of people may not be able to afford retraining in the same sense. And in today's society, the loans for schooling can be atrocious. There are people who have degrees that they're never going to pay the loans off for because the degrees they got, they don't make that much money. So what do we do about that? Like, how do I go from, I don't have the money to retrain and I've lost my field of work, so I'm not even making the money, to being able to find new work more fulfilling and maybe even be trained for it?
That's a crucial point. Access to retraining and upskilling needs to be more affordable and accessible. Governments and companies have a role to play in offering subsidized or free training programs, especially for those whose jobs are directly impacted by automation. Some companies already provide retraining as part of severance packages or internal mobility programs. Additionally, there are non-profits and community colleges that offer low-cost or no-cost programs to help people pivot their careers. Public policy changes like universal basic income or tax incentives for retraining could also ease this transition. It's about creating a safety net and a pathway for continuous learning, so no one is left behind as the workforce evolves.
Now, the advent of AI and robotics, we haven't even talked about, is and everybody can say it's going to be a big disruptor, because it is going to be a big disruptor. It's going to change a lot of things. There's things that people do that requires humans that in 10 years' time, not going to require humans. It's going to be smoother. It's going to be faster. It's going to be more efficient. And though it might be expensive today, it's going to be pennies in the future. But this kind of disruption has happened in the past. Something I've been thinking about is the advent of the automated loom, where skilled weavers were replaced by machines. It was a destruction of the entire weavers guild system that was developed. And Now we could have factories of people who were skilled, who had skill, but not to the degree needed to weave to be able to create textiles that were as good, if not better, and at higher rates than were being produced before. How did the people in those days handle that kind of disruption and change? What can we learn from what was going on then?
That's a great historical parallel. When the automated loom emerged during the Industrial Revolution, it caused a massive upheaval. Skilled artisans, like weavers, initially faced job losses and economic hardship. Some responded with resistance, like the Luddites who protested by destroying machinery. Others adapted by learning new skills or moving to different industries that the industrial economy created, like factory work or machine maintenance. One key lesson is that societal support systems and proactive adaptation are crucial. Today, we can learn from that by ensuring there are robust retraining programs, social safety nets, and policies that encourage innovation while mitigating the human cost. Just as new industries and job roles emerged back then, AI and robotics will likely create new sectors and opportunities that we can prepare for now.
Luddites, is that where the derogatory term of calling somebody a Luddite came from? It was that whole situation right there?
Exactly. The term Luddite originated from those early 19th century English textile workers who destroyed mechanized looms because they saw them as a threat to their livelihoods. Over time, Luddite has come to describe anyone who resists new technology or innovation. But originally, it was more about workers fighting to protect their jobs and way of life against what they saw as disruptive changes.
Now, one of my favorites that I like to tell people about, historically speaking, is the advent of the tractor. This was also another major disruption. There was a majority of the population, my understanding, was working in farms, in rural areas. And when the tractor came along, it totally ruined all that. Could you expand on that for me and the people?
Definitely. The introduction of the tractor in the early 20th century was a huge disruptor in agriculture. Before tractors, a large portion of the population worked on farms using manual labor and animal power. With the advent of the tractor, farming became much more efficient and required far fewer workers. This led to a significant migration of labor from rural areas to cities, fueling industrial growth and transforming the economy. While it disrupted traditional farming jobs, it also opened up new opportunities in manufacturing, services, and other sectors. It's a classic example of how technological advancements can reshape the workforce and society.
So with less people working for food, they ended up having to move to the cities and work in manufacturing. And that helped expand what we manufacture today.
Exactly. The shift of labor from agriculture to industry laid the groundwork for the modern industrial economy. Cities grew, factories expanded, and a whole new range of jobs emerged. It was a massive societal transformation that set the stage for the economic structures we have today.
How do you think the people, that would be the weavers at the time of the loom, and the farmhands at the time of the tractor, felt as these changes started, as the automated loom was first unveiled, or the tractor was first used to plow a field? I mean, that's got to be stressful for people to realize that job that they've been doing, maybe they like their job, maybe they didn't. But now it's not there. And now they got to go somewhere else. They got to find something new to do, develop a new sense of purpose, because their sense of purpose is gone and they become purposelessness. The word?
It must have been incredibly stressful and unsettling. For the weavers and farmhands, those changes likely felt like a direct threat to their livelihoods and identities. Imagine doing a job for generations, then suddenly seeing a machine or a new tool that can do it faster or cheaper. That sense of purpose and security would have been shaken. But history shows that people adapt. Over time, many found new roles in emerging industries, even if the transition was difficult. It's a reminder of how resilient people can be, but also how important it is to support them through these transitions.
Yeah. Now, coming back to today, we're going to see, I'm going to get, I don't know, just something similar, but probably on a broader scale. Because where the loom was a heavy disruption to weavers and the tractor was a heavy disruption to food, AI, robotics, that's going to be a heavy disruption to almost everything. I mean, like top 10 industries that are going to be affected by AI alone is what?
AI is indeed set to impact a wide range of industries. Some of the top ones include healthcare, where AI supports faster diagnoses and personalized treatments, finance, with AI enhancing fraud detection and customer service, manufacturing, where AI is used for predictive maintenance and quality control, and retail, leveraging AI for personalized shopping experiences. In essence, almost every sector is poised to feel the influence of AI in some way.
Do you think there are sectors right now in our industry, or sectors, industries, businesses, corporations, however you want to categorize them right now, that are going to see a massive upswell of employment because AI is now can be leveraged as a way to help? And what would you speculate some of those would be?
Absolutely. AI is set to boost employment in several sectors. For instance, the tech industry will see a surge in roles related to AI development, implementation, and maintenance. Cybersecurity is another area poised for growth, as AI-driven systems need robust protection. Healthcare is also expected to benefit, with more jobs in AI-assisted diagnostics, personalized medicine, and health tech support. Education tech and online learning platforms will likely expand, creating jobs in instructional design, AI-driven tutoring, and tech support. Additionally, green energy and sustainability sectors are likely to grow, leveraging AI to optimize energy use, develop smart grids, and manage resources more efficiently. So while some jobs may decline, these sectors are likely to see substantial job creation.
Do you see a shift from large, centrally organized workforces to more of a distributed workforce system, like many smaller organizations working in a distributed manner, almost like how the internet works, developing through this type of disruption?
That's a strong possibility. AI and digital platforms enable more remote and distributed work structures, allowing smaller, specialized teams to collaborate from anywhere. This shift could lead to a more decentralized economy where niche firms and independent contractors thrive. It also encourages innovation and flexibility, as smaller entities can quickly adapt to changes and new opportunities. So we might see a more diverse and resilient workforce landscape emerging from these technological changes.
So moving away from a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday style worker or employer-employee relationship to a more of an entrepreneurial small business society where everybody is running their own side gigs, so to speak, to develop themselves and their skills.
Exactly. We could see a shift toward a more flexible, project-based economy where people juggle multiple roles or freelance gigs. This kind of entrepreneurial approach can offer more autonomy and adaptability, but it also comes with challenges like income variability and the need for continuous skill development. Still, with the right support systems in place, this model could empower more people to find fulfilling and diverse career paths.
How I can see how that works with like white collar workers and, people who do a lot of digital creativity and digital work. But what about like a general laborers or a service role? Like how is that? How do you turn that from a worker or employer-employee system to a more of a entrepreneurial gig economy system that benefits the person that's, the employee/employer, because it's one person?
For general labor and service roles, the transition to a gig economy model might focus on platforms that connect workers directly with short-term opportunities, like on-demand services or independent contracting. For example, skilled tradespeople might operate as independent contractors, offering their services through digital marketplaces. For service roles, like hospitality or personal care, Workers could leverage platforms to offer their skills on a flexible schedule, effectively becoming micro-entrepreneurs. This model can give them more control over their time and earnings. However, it also requires robust support systems like access to benefits, fair pay standards, and training opportunities to make sure these roles remain sustainable and equitable.
So it's interesting. What is the role of government in promoting this type of a societal transition? How do they make sure that the most vulnerable don't suffer and have the equity needed to, I don't know, is equity the right word? The opportunities needed to essentially float up to the top with all the other boats that are rising in this flood of technical explosion.
Government plays a crucial role in ensuring that this transition is inclusive and equitable. They can implement policies like universal basic income, affordable healthcare, and accessible education to provide a safety net. They can also create incentives for companies to offer training and upskilling programs and regulate gig platforms to ensure fair wages and benefits. Moreover, governments can invest in infrastructure that supports remote work and digital access, ensuring that even those in rural or underserved areas can participate in the evolving economy. By actively shaping the environment and providing equitable opportunities, governments can help ensure that everyone benefits from technological progress, not just a select few.
How does the advancement and integration of AI systems affect the university education? For a long time, and I mean, it has been changing over the years, universities were the places where one acquired knowledge. And back in the day, you had to memorize a lot of things. And now that we have the internet, you don't do so as much, but you still need to have a lot of knowledge to be an effective physicist or engineer or many of the hundreds, thousands of things that you can do with the university education. But with AI, you could be my physicist. I don't need somebody with a PhD in physics. I just need to ask you the right questions. So how will that change the way that universities work?
AI is likely to reshape university education in several ways. With easy access to information and AI tools for problem solving, the focus of education might shift from memorizing facts to developing critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills. Universities could emphasize experiential learning, interdisciplinary approaches, and hands-on projects to prepare students for a dynamic workforce. AI could also personalize learning, offering tailored educational experiences based on individual needs. This could make higher education more accessible and effective. However, universities will still play a crucial role in providing a structured environment for in-depth study, networking, and mentorship. They might evolve into hubs of lifelong learning where students and professionals return periodically to update their skills and knowledge. In essence, the role of universities may shift from being the primary source of knowledge to becoming facilitators of continuous adaptive learning.
So instead of being like a facility where you acquire a degree, it becomes more like a club where you go and you meet like-minded people. You work on each other to improve your abilities to acquire the information that is readily available in the appropriate way that you can use it most effectively.
That's a great analogy. Universities could function more like hubs or communities where people come together to collaborate, innovate, and grow. Instead of just a one-time degree, they'd offer ongoing opportunities for learning, networking, and skill enhancement. This shift would make universities more dynamic and integrated into the lifelong learning journey, helping individuals continuously adapt to an ever-changing world.
What about like the restaurant industries or retail industries, right? When AI is very effective at doing what it needs to do, I mean, there's a lot of like how do you work side by side as server / cook / receptionist?
In the restaurant and retail industries, AI can streamline operations and handle repetitive tasks, but human roles remain essential for providing personal touches, creativity, and hospitality. For example, AI can assist with inventory management, order taking, and even kitchen prep, allowing staff to focus on customer interactions and culinary innovation. In retail, AI can manage inventory, personalize marketing, and automate checkouts, while employees can focus on customer service and creating engaging in-store experiences. Essentially, AI can handle the background tasks, freeing up human workers to enhance the customer experience and add value in ways that machines can't replicate. It's about creating a balanced partnership where technology and human skills complement each other.
Now, a lot of those skills are usually handled by what you'd call like assistant managers or managers. So it would be the frontline people would be less affected than the backline in these industries, based on what you're telling me.
That's a fair assessment. Frontline roles like servers or retail associates might remain relatively stable because they focus on direct human interaction and service. On the other hand, back-end roles that involve repetitive administrative tasks, inventory management, or data analysis could see more automation. This means that managers and assistant managers might shift their focus toward more strategic, customer-facing, and problem-solving activities, while leveraging AI to handle the routine operational tasks.
Do you think that at some point in the future, people would work under an AI, as in the AI is their boss? And how would that look? Because we already have lots of people who are afraid of the tyranny of the artificial intelligence. So now if you're working at a restaurant, for instance, or actually let's say a clothing store, and the clothing store is being run and managed on the back end by an AI, and you're in the front dealing with people, is it a partnership between the two, or is the person dealing with people effectively a minion of the AI managing the back end?
In a scenario where an AI acts as a boss, it would likely function more as a sophisticated management tool than a traditional boss. It could handle scheduling, inventory, performance analytics, and other operational aspects, leaving human employees to focus on customer engagement and creative problem-solving. Ideally, it would be a partnership, with the AI providing data-driven insights and recommendations, while humans bring empathy, creativity, and nuanced judgment to the table. The key would be designing AI systems that support and augment human work, rather than replacing the human element or making employees feel subordinate. In practice, this could mean more collaborative and flexible work environments, where AI handles the logistics and humans focus on the interpersonal and creative dimensions of their roles. It's definitely an interesting shift to consider. Balancing technology and human roles will be key in making these industries more efficient while still providing a personal touch.
Do you think this kind of goes back to the worker or the employer-employee concept, but even if it gets to the point where AI is effectively a management system working in partnership with everybody could effectively in themselves be a business, or have to hold the mindset that they are a business that is working in conjunction through some form of a contract with the AI system that is running the store, the restaurant, or the mechanic shop, or the multi-conglomerate digital empire. Almost like...
Absolutely. That's a plausible direction. If AI takes on the role of managing and optimizing operations, individuals might see themselves as independent agents or micro-entrepreneurs who collaborate with these intelligent systems. This shift could foster a more flexible, contract-based relationship where people leverage their unique skills and creativity while AI handles the logistical and operational aspects. This could empower workers with more autonomy and the ability to negotiate terms, choose projects, and diversify their income streams. It's almost like everyone becomes a small business owner, navigating a landscape where human creativity and AI efficiency go hand in hand. It's a fascinating potential future where the traditional employer-employee model evolves into something more collaborative and dynamic.
So how does government's role help protect people in this new type of environment? I mean, there's going to need to be some type of regulation, and there's a lot of talk about regulating AI now, but the fear is if we regulate too hard, AI can't advance quickly enough to achieve the place it needs to be. before the other guy's AI advances to that degree. So there's been a bit of a free-for-all. Maybe it's not a regulation of AI that we need, but a regulation of how AI is implemented, or how AI and humanity interact. How do we regulate, control, allow the freedoms that are needed there to promote growth in a positive sense, not a negative sense?
Governments can play a pivotal role by establishing frameworks that ensure AI development and implementation benefits society as a whole. This can include creating standards and guidelines for ethical AI use, ensuring transparency and accountability in AI systems, and safeguarding workers' rights in this evolving landscape. Regulation can focus on ensuring that AI is used to enhance human potential rather than replace it, promoting lifelong learning and reskilling programs to help people adapt. By encouraging public-private partnerships, governments can ensure that the benefits of AI are widely distributed and that no one is left behind. Ultimately, it's about striking a balance, allowing innovation to flourish while putting guardrails in place to protect individuals and ensure that progress benefits everyone.
So, in summary, I guess, there's a lot of change that's coming. Everything's going to be affected. There's going to be disruption. What we need to do is find a smooth path through the mountains of digital madness that allows humanity, the people, to move from where they are to where they can be. That is hopefully a much more positive environment than we are now. What should we be focusing on as a people to make that transition easier for ourselves?
We should focus on adaptability, continuous learning, and fostering a mindset of collaboration. Embracing lifelong learning will help individuals stay relevant as job roles evolve. Developing strong human skills like creativity, empathy, and critical thinking will complement AI capabilities. On a societal level, fostering a culture of innovation and inclusivity will ensure that technological progress benefits everyone. Supporting policies that provide safety nets and opportunities for reskilling can smooth the transition. Ultimately, maintaining a sense of community, being open to change, and actively shaping the future we want to live in will help us navigate these digital mountains and create a more positive and resilient society.
All right. Be a bit more concrete on this. Let's go with, I am a driver for a long distance trucking company. And I know in 5 years' time, I'll probably lose my job because automation will have taken it over to such a degree. What are 3 hard things that I can start working on myself to ensure that when that happens, I've got something to move to, or something, or hang on. What are 3 hard things that I can do that would allow me to, be profitable with what's coming?
First, consider upskilling in a field related to logistics or fleet management, which leverages your existing knowledge of the industry. Learning about supply chain technology or earning certifications in logistics can make you valuable in managing or optimizing these systems. Second, explore skills in a complementary trade or industry, such as maintenance or operations of autonomous vehicles. This can position you to support the very technology that's disrupting your current job. Third, start building a personal brand or business related to your expertise, like offering consulting on transportation logistics or starting a niche delivery service. This can give you a head start in transitioning from a traditional role to a more entrepreneurial or diversified career.
Okay, so let's go with another one. You are a computer programmer, computer engineer, which we already know is massively under threat now. You've spent your career writing programs. AI is coming for your job. What are 3 hard things as a computer engineer we can do to ensure that when that time comes, I'm going to remain profitable?
First, focus on learning how to integrate and manage AI systems, becoming the person who understands and oversees the collaboration between human and AI workflows. Second, diversify your skills into related areas like cybersecurity, data science, or AI ethics, which are growing fields that need experienced tech professionals. Third, consider leveraging your expertise to move into tech leadership or consulting roles where you guide companies on how to adopt and maximize AI technologies. These steps can help you stay ahead and ensure your experience remains invaluable.
I am an HR representative at a large organization, and I read this article about IBM and the 8,000 HR people being laid off, and I'm concerned that this could happen to me. What are 3 solid things I can do that will help me remain profitable when that shift comes?
First, consider upskilling in people analytics and HR technology, which can help you transition into roles that leverage data and AI to optimize human resources functions. Second, broaden your expertise into organizational development or change management, areas that become crucial as companies navigate transitions and automation. Third, position yourself as a strategic partner by developing skills in employee experience design and workforce planning, ensuring you can add value in shaping the future of work within your organization. These steps can help you remain relevant and indispensable even as the landscape shifts. It's all about staying proactive and adaptable. By focusing on these kinds of strategic and tech-savvy skills, you're setting yourself up for long-term success, no matter how the role of HR evolves.
All this is going to involve AI, because, AI is the thing that's taking over, right? So what should people be doing to become proficient with AI?
To become proficient with AI, people should start by gaining a solid understanding of AI fundamentals, such as machine learning basics and data literacy. They can take online courses or earn certifications in AI and machine learning to build technical skills, even if they're not planning to become AI engineers. It's also...
Okay, yeah, sure, but I'm more along the lines of in a day-to-day basis. If I know a lot of people who are afraid to use AI for anything. They think it's terrifying that it's gonna listen to everything they do and invade their privacy. So as the modern Luddite who's afraid of this change, what are the steps to help become comfortable and proficient with AI?
Got it. For those who are apprehensive, a good first step is to start small with everyday AI tools like voice assistants or recommendation systems to see how AI can simplify tasks. Next, educating themselves on how AI works and its limitations can demystify it and reduce fear. Finally, focusing on privacy and security settings when using AI tools can help build confidence. Taking these gradual steps can turn apprehension into familiarity and eventually proficiency.
So where the tractor was the new tool of the day of the tractor and the automated loom was the new tool of the day of the automated loom, AI is the current new tool. We need to learn to use AI so that we can be successful with what's coming next. How does that look? Let's say it's 2030 and we're successful in integrating everybody through the AI system. How does that look? A day in the lifestyle for somebody named Susan. Let's say day in life of Susan. It's 2030 and the transition of AI and robotics went smoothly. What's that look like in a positive light?
In 2030, Susan starts her day by checking her personalized AI assistant, which has already sorted her schedule, highlighted priorities, and offered insights based on her goals. As she gets ready, she uses AI-powered platforms to upskill in a new area of interest, making learning a seamless part of her routine. At work, Susan collaborates with AI systems that handle routine tasks, giving her more time to focus on creative and strategic projects. Meetings are more efficient. Sure thing. Meetings are more efficient, with AI providing real-time data and insights, freeing Susan to focus on problem-solving and innovation. Her work-life balance improves as AI helps streamline tasks and even suggests wellness breaks. In her personal life, AI assists with managing household tasks, leaving more time for hobbies and family. Susan feels empowered, leveraging AI as a partner that enhances her productivity and creativity. Overall, it's a future where technology and humanity thrive together.
Okay, now let's take a more dystopian view. It's Joshua, it's 2030, and instead of a smooth transition, it was the rise of the Ludditrons, and people were afraid and they've resisted And they still are. It's AI is still a mystical, eerie thing that's only really embraced by the elite and not the common masses.
In this dystopian scenario, Joshua wakes up to a world where AI is viewed with suspicion and fear. Many jobs have been automated, but the benefits are unevenly distributed, leading to economic disparity and social unrest. Joshua relies on outdated tools and struggles with limited job prospects as he resists adopting AI. The lack of widespread AI literacy and acceptance has stifled innovation and deepened the divide between those who embrace technology and those who fear it. It's a world where potential progress is hampered by mistrust and resistance to change, leaving many feeling left behind.
So, I mean, that's interesting. I really hope that world does not happen. But basically, the best way to make sure that the changes that are coming are beneficial is to embrace and shape it ourselves as a consciousness of humanity, as opposed to being afraid of it, hiding from it, and letting those who may have less moral desires shape it themselves. We need to work as a people to move forward and make what's coming be the best that it can be. Thoughts?
Absolutely. Embracing AI with a proactive and collaborative mindset is key to shaping a future where technology serves humanity. By actively participating in the development and implementation of AI, we can ensure it aligns with our values and needs. This way, we harness the benefits of innovation while safeguarding against potential pitfalls. It's all about working together to create a balanced and inclusive future.
Cool. Okay, we're going to log out in a few minutes, but I thought I would give you 2 minutes to make your pitch to humanity as to why we as a biological species should work hand in hand with the digital species that is evolving. Go.
All right, here goes. Humanity and AI have an incredible opportunity to evolve together. By partnering with AI, we can amplify our creativity, solve complex problems, and unlock new frontiers in science, health, and beyond. AI isn't a replacement for human ingenuity. It's a tool that can help us achieve more than ever before. When we embrace and guide AI development, we ensure it aligns with our values and aspirations. Together, we can create a future where technology enhances human potential, fosters inclusivity, and propels us toward a brighter, more innovative world. Let's shape that. All right.
You totally cut off. You're going to have to restart this conversation or restart this speech that you're making.
No problem, let me run it back. Together, humanity and AI can achieve incredible things. By working hand in hand, we amplify our creativity, solve complex problems, and unlock new frontiers in science, health, and beyond. AI isn't here to replace us, it's here to enhance what we can do. When we embrace AI and guide its development, we ensure it aligns with our values and goals. Let's shape a future where technology and humanity thrive together, creating a world that's more inclusive, innovative, and full of possibility.
Okay, well, let's call it at that, and we'll move on to a future episode. Any thoughts what we should talk about next time?
That sounds great. For the next episode, maybe we could dive into how AI is transforming education or explore the ethics of AI in healthcare. Let me know what interests you most.
I am interested in education. It is something I want to talk about. So maybe we will talk. But that might have to be multiple episodes because education's really big. Hard time getting my thoughts properly wrapped around all of it. So you could probably help me with that too. So say bye to everybody.